Born on February 12, 1992, in the village of Dataranwali in the Fazilka district of Punjab, Lawrence Bishnoi came from a modest farming family belonging to the Bishnoi community, known for their environmental conservation values. His father was a police constable, which contrasts sharply with the life of crime Lawrence would later pursue. As a child, he was reportedly studious and disciplined, which led him to move to Chandigarh for further studies after completing his early education. His father instilled in him a sense of discipline, but young Lawrence was restless, a rebel waiting to be unleashed. Even as a child, he displayed a volatile temper and a thirst for power. Little did anyone know that this small-town boy would grow up to become one of India's most feared gangsters. Bishnoi's childhood was marred by violence and a growing disdain for authority. The rough and tumble of rural life toughened him, shaping his worldview. He learned the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, and he was determined to be a survivor. His early years were a breeding ground for the anger and resentment that would fuel his rise to criminal infamy. Bishnoi's family, though considered well off, couldn't contain his wild spirit. He was a misfit, always seeking control, always pushing the boundaries. His rebellious streak, evident from a young age, set him on a collision course with the world. He was expelled from school, a sign of the defiance that would become his trademark. This expulsion only fueled his anger. He saw it as an injustice, a slight against him. It was a turning point, pushing him further down a path of crime and violence. The seeds of rebellion, sown in his youth, were about to take root and grow into a fearsome empire. Student leader to criminal mastermind, a transformation. The hallowed halls of Chandigarh's DAV College were an unlikely setting for the rise of a criminal kingpin. Yet, it was here that Lawrence Bishnoi honed his leadership skills, albeit in the murky world of student politics. He quickly rose through the ranks, his charisma and ruthlessness proving to be a potent combination. He surrounded himself with a loyal band of followers, ready to do his bidding. Student politics, often a hotbed of ambition and intrigue, became Bishnoi's training ground for a life of crime. He understood the power of fear, using threats and intimidation to silence his rivals. His name became synonymous with violence, his reputation preceding him. He had tasted power and craved more. The line between student leader and gangster blurred, and Bishnoi crossed it with ease. His criminal activities began small extortion, petty theft, and intimidation. But his ambition knew no bounds. He saw an opportunity to fill the vacuum left by the waning influence of older gangsters. Bishnoi, with his sharp mind and utter ruthlessness, was quick to capitalize on this power vacuum. He consolidated his hold over student unions, using them as a front for his burgeoning criminal enterprise. The transformation was complete. Lawrence Bishnoi, the wayward student, had become Lawrence Bishnoi, the gangster. He was no longer content with controlling the college campus. He had set his sights on something much bigger, an empire built on fear, extortion, and blood. The once promising student had become a harbinger of chaos, his name whispered in hushed tones in the corridors of power. The Bishnoi Gang, a reign of terror. The Bishnoi Gang, with Lawrence at its helm, spread its tentacles throughout Punjab and beyond. They were involved in a wide array of criminal activities: extortion, contract killings, land grabbing, and drug trafficking. Bishnoi, a master strategist, ran his gang like a well-oiled machine. He had a knack for identifying and exploiting weaknesses, both in his rivals and in the system. He instilled unwavering loyalty in his gang members, rewarding them handsomely while demanding absolute obedience. Defiance was met with swift and brutal punishment. The Bishnoi Gang operated with impunity, their reign of terror silencing any opposition. They became a law unto themselves, their influence extending to the police and political circles. What set the Bishnoi Gang apart was their brazenness. They operated in broad daylight, unafraid of the authorities. Their audacity sent a chilling message: no one was beyond their reach. They instilled fear in the hearts of businessmen, politicians, and ordinary citizens alike. The gang's notoriety grew with each passing day, their name becoming synonymous with organized crime in North India. Their network of informants and corrupt officials provided them with vital information and ensured their continued freedom. Lawrence Bishnoi, from his prison cell, continued to direct the gang's operations, proving that even behind bars, he was a force to be reckoned with. The gang's reach extended far and wide, their influence permeating various strata of society. Section 4. Salman Khan, in the crosshairs. The Bishnoi Gang's ruthlessness was perhaps best illustrated in their long-standing feud with Bollywood superstar Salman Khan. Bishnoi, a devout follower of the Bishnoi community, harbored a deep-seated resentment towards Khan over the alleged poaching of black bucks, an animal sacred to the community. This personal vendetta transformed into a public spectacle, with Bishnoi vowing to kill Khan. Threats against Khan's life became commonplace, issued from Bishnoi's prison cell and echoed by his loyal followers. The Bollywood star, accustomed to adulation, found himself living under the constant shadow of fear. His every move was scrutinized, his security detail heightened. The Bishnoi gang's threats were not empty boasts. They had the firepower and the reach to carry them out. This high-profile feud brought into sharp focus the Bishnoi gang's audacity and their disregard for the law. It also highlighted the deep-seated influence of caste and religious sentiments in India's criminal underworld. The Salman Khan controversy turned Bishnoi into a household name, albeit for all the wrong reasons. He had challenged one of India's most beloved icons, and in doing so, had further cemented his image as a fearless outlaw. The threat to Khan's life brought unwelcome scrutiny on the Bishnoi gang, forcing the authorities to take notice. However, despite numerous arrests and crackdowns, the gang's grip on power seemed unwavering. Bishnoi, even from behind bars, continued to orchestrate his campaign of terror, proving that some cages are not designed to hold true predators. The Salman Khan controversy was a stark reminder of the Bishnoi gang's reach and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of even the most powerful. Section 5. A Trail of Violence, Bishnoi's Heinous Crimes. The Salman Khan controversy may have brought Lawrence Bishnoi international notoriety, but it was just one chapter in a long and bloody saga of violence. His rap sheet reads like a gruesome crime thriller: murder, extortion, kidnapping, and intimidation. Each crime, meticulously planned and ruthlessly executed, was a testament to his cold-blooded nature. One of his earliest high-profile crimes was the murder of a rival gang member in broad daylight. The brazenness of the act sent shockwaves through the state, announcing the arrival of a new breed of gangster, ruthless, ambitious, and utterly fearless. This was followed by a string of murders, each one solidifying his grip on the underworld. Bishnoi's reign of terror extended beyond the borders of Punjab. He had established a vast network of associates and loyalists across India, carrying out his orders with chilling efficiency. From extortion rackets in Delhi to land grabs in Rajasthan, his influence was felt far and wide. The police seemed powerless to stop him, their efforts hampered by corruption and fear. The stories of his brutality are legendary. Rivals tortured and killed, businessmen coerced into paying protection money, and anyone who dared to cross him silenced permanently. His name became synonymous with fear, his shadow looming over anyone who threatened his empire. His criminal activities were not just about amassing wealth and power, they were about sending a message. Lawrence Bishnoi was above the law. Pause 3S. Section 6. Present Situation and Incarceration. As of 2024, Lawrence Bishnoi is imprisoned in Tihar Jail, New Delhi, one of the most secure prisons in India. Despite being in prison, Bishnoi continues to run his criminal operations through his gang members, often using mobile phones and other forms of clandestine communication. His influence extends far beyond the prison walls, and he remains a feared figure in the Indian underworld. Pause 2S. It is reported that some members of Bishnoi's gang are scattered in countries like Canada, the UK, and Dubai. These international operatives help Bishnoi manage his smuggling operations and remain involved in cross-border crime activities. However, there's no solid evidence to suggest that Bishnoi or his gang have access to weapons of war, nuclear bombs, or missiles, as those rumors are exaggerated. Pause 2S. Despite his criminal background, Lawrence Bishnoi's personal life is quite private. There's no confirmed information about his marital status or children. His net worth as of January 2024 is estimated to be in the range of Rs 15 crore, accumulated through extortion, smuggling, and other illegal activities. His assets include properties and a fleet of luxury cars that his gang members manage. Pause 2S. Bishnoi enjoys a significant following, especially among the youth in rural Punjab and Haryana, who see him as a Robin Hood-like figure. He presents himself as someone who defends the honor of his community and stands up against oppression, but his daily life, controlled by the prison system, paints a starkly different picture of a man chained by his own violent ambitions. Pause 2S. In terms of physical appearance, Lawrence Bishnoi is approximately 5'8" inches tall and follows the Hindu religion, though he identifies strongly with his Bishnoi community's values. Pause 2S. Lawrence Bishnoi's rise from a small-town boy to a feared gangster is a story filled with ambition, power, and crime. His criminal activities have left a lasting mark on India's underworld, and while his gang continues to operate, his incarceration has limited his personal reach. Whether he will be able to regain his influence in the future or fall further into obscurity remains to be seen, but his name will undoubtedly continue to spark controversy and fear for years to come.